Good morning. What a beautiful spring day here in Sydney today. Well, today is going to be a first for being the i-miev. I'm heading on a trip of a total length of about 120 kilometres from Western Sydney, actual real Western Sydney, Penrith, not just the inner suburbs, to the northern beaches, Narrabeen. So 120 k's total trip distance. It's a first for me in this because it's the first time I've done a trip in this car in Sydney outside of our total range. This being an early 2010 model car, only has a range of about 90 to 100 kilometres in real world. Most I've ever done has been 92 kilometres total distance without charging. So today's the first. The plan is today is to go from Penrith to Sydney Olympic Park to recharge at the only DC fast charger in the Sydney Basin that this can use, which is a demo plug. Booked by the NRMA, thank God. But unfortunately it's only one. So there's a good chance it could be iced, which would be bad, or in use by another EV, which is bad for me, but it's not bad. So the plan is to go to that DC fast charger and top up to 100%, so it'll probably take a bit longer than usual because normally this thing stops at 80% charge, so getting it to 100% is going to be a bit longer. And from there on, it is a 37k trip each way to northern beaches. So it'll be about almost 80 k's total trip back from the DC fast charger back to the DC fast charger, and which isn't too bad. It's in the range I know the car can do, but the northern beaches of Sydney are quite hilly, so lots of steep hills, so that might make a difference to the range. I'm not sure how that's going to go. So that'll be the challenge for the day, getting from the DC charger to the northern beaches and back to the charger again for a top up again to get enough change to get me back home. This morning I've decided to head down the M4 because the M4 speed limit is 80 k's an hour, but unfortunately I'm driving into a strong headwind. But oh well, I just hope going from the fast charger to Narrabeen, the headwind becomes a crosswind and doesn't actually tax my range too much, because it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Maybe I might be driving a bit below the speed limit today, who knows. And for range anxiety, I wouldn't call it range anxiety. I know I can get there, I know I can get back. I know there's plenty of charges in between that I can use, but there is only the one DC fast charger. So if I'm sort of falling short and not likely to make that DC fast charger, I can stop at a few shopping centres and charge at a level 2 charger. Only difference is, rather than taking 20 minutes, half an hour to recharge, it might take a couple of hours, which means I might just sit around and do nothing for a couple of hours. Which isn't too bad. It is a nice Sunday in Sydney. Weather's not too bad, and I've got plenty of time, so that's how we go. Now we're approaching Parramatta, almost at the DC fast charger. Well, just made it here to Sydney Olympic Park, and good news, the charger is working and nobody's iced it or blocked it. Got here with 2 bars over half and a range to go of 56 kilometres, which means from here I probably could still make it to my friend's place. Just 37 k's, but again there's no charging there, so I have to get back to here, so I have to fill up here to at least 90%, and maybe I'll probably even go to 100 to see how quick it goes. Anyway, time to plug it in. Took 21 minutes to go to 90% from 60%, but also don't forget this is an older generation EV, an early 2010 model i-miev, so it's a max DC charge rate. I think it's only about 25 kilowatts anyway at the best time, so not too bad. 60% to 90%, 20 minutes. Now I'm heading off to North Narrabeen, 40 k's away, so 80 k an hour, 80 kilometre round trip back to here, and also up some pretty hilly terrain. So there we go. So this part of the trip I'll be driving in eco mode only and using B mode only for braking down hills and stuff for max regen and taking it easy. Okay, well here we are, made it to North Narrabeen, all the way from Penrith. Not too bad. It says I've got 45 k's of range left, exactly half a battery, and I know from here it is around about 37 k's back to the DC fast charger. So, been a pretty good run. Followed a few trucks down from the higher speed bits, which is good. The bit that worries me though is that from North Narrabeen, heading west back to the DC fast charger is up quite a long steep hill. So even though it says I've got 44 k's of range, which is a regen, I'm probably going to lose 5 or probably even 10 k's of that range just getting up that hill, which will make it very close indeed to getting back to that DC fast charger. Well, heading home now from North Narrabeen, I've got exactly half a battery left and 44 kilometres of range on the guessometer, and according to Waze it is 37 k's back to the DC fast charger. So if I just take it easy, drive in E mode, get the regen braking to max as well I can, I'm pretty confident I'll be able to make there, because once I get up some big long hill out of North Narrabeen here, it's pretty much all downhill. If I can find a few buses and cars and big four drives to follow, I'll probably be okay. If not, there's a few slow charges in between here and now I can stop in at if I get really worried I'm not going to make it. But I'm pretty confident I'll get there. So we'll see how much battery we have got left when you get to the DC fast charger at Sydney Olympic Park. Made it here with 2 bars of battery left, 11 k's of range. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, actually, I sort of didn't really think I wouldn't make it. because once you're up the top of the big hill at North Narrabeen there to Terry Hills, it's pretty much all downhill all the way here. Plus, the traffic is rolling along at about 60-70 k's an hour. Managed to get stuck behind a few big four-wheel drives, big trucks, things like that, so that always helps. Anyway, now I'm about to go find a drink, toilet, plug the car in, give it a chance to charge up. Probably only charge it till about, I don't know, 65%, 70% for the run back home, back to Penrith. Anyway, let's plug her in. Car's done charging now. We've had enough time to go to the toilet, have a pack of chips, have a bottle of drink, and to get me back home. The car is now at 50%. Now I know coming from here, from home to here, I went from 100% to 60%, so 40, so I'm at 50% now. I'll probably stop when it gets to about 70%. Now I've got plenty to get home. Also, the low speed in the freeway and a bit of a tailwind. I know I'll easily make it home now for the charge from here. So that's it. No range anxiety at all, because I know along the entire route, like a petrol car owner knows, there's service stations everywhere. In this case, there's charging stations everywhere. The only difference is, if I couldn't make it back to this DC fast charger, I'll have to be using a slow charger. That means the only difference is a bit of time. But unfortunately, Sydney only has just the one DC fast charger that this car can use. Obviously, there's Tesla chargers around the place. I think there's 2 places in Sydney for Tesla superchargers, plenty of destination chargers. But sadly, for your demo plugged vehicles such as this, there's only the one DC fast charger right here at Sydney Olympic Park. Fortunately, it's in the middle of the city, Sydney Basin area, so you can pretty much charge up here and get anywhere and back in the Sydney Basin, even with a car with as short range as this i-miev. But today, yeah, I'm pretty happy with getting North Narrabeen and back here with 10 k's of range on a 76k trip up and down hilly terrain with winds and traffic and everything else. So that means it should be range about 90 k's, which is about as far as I've ever been in this car. So considering it's approaching 10 years old now, it's still doing pretty good and it's still serving its purpose perfectly. No reason to upgrade it yet, though I do plan on getting a Kona in the future, but this vehicle will not be replaced when the Kona arrives. We'll keep this car. So that's it. I'll unplug the car in a few minutes and head back out to the real Western Sydney, Penrith. Oh, I made it back home now. I'll charge up to 80% there before coming home, so I figured, it's a free charge, might as well as much as you can. So I'm back home now, 1 bar under half, so I used about 30%, pretty much the same as what I used to get there in the morning. But this time coming home, I sat exactly on 80 k's an hour. There's not much traffic to follow to get the economy up, but fortunately I had a bit of a tailwind down here, so now I'm back in Penrith with 30% of the battery from Sydney Olympic Park. All up, pretty good day, pretty happy with the car, the way it's going, and just proves you can drive from the real Western Sydney at Penrith all the way to North Narrabeen and back in a very short range EV such as Mitsubishi i-miev quite easily and do it comfortably with no worries at all, especially with the use of that NRMA DC fast charger. And hopefully with the addition of more fast charger, trips like this will become a lot more easier and more practical and far cheaper and better for the environment. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.